channel, Stacio Designs, where we talk about all things sublimation, vinyl, crafting, and more. So today, if you saw my last video, today I am not an avatar. I chose to do this live in person because I needed to show you what I made in this video. So, if you saw my last video, you saw me doing a troubleshooting for the DTF hack. So this is the shirt that I worked on for the troubleshooting video. And we just printed this middle and this front. But this video that you're about to see, I put Puff HTV on top of the sublimation. And then I thought I'd fancy it up a little and I put some words on it. So initially, I just put on the white and I looked at it and said, this is not working out at all. The white is really fading into this yellow color. So I cut an offset of this brown puff to go over what I've already pressed, the white that I've already pressed. And it winds up almost looking like embroidery. You probably can't see it. I do have some stills and I'm probably putting them up here on the screen right now. So why don't you come with me and I'll show you how I made this and a couple of little things that I learned along the way while doing this. So this is the puff that I used. This is Yamation's 3D Puff HTV. And this comes in this huge package, 30 sheets, 14 different colors. Look at these amazing, amazing colors, right? So I can't wait to do more projects with this puff because I think I got it down now. It took me a little while. I think I got it down now. And if you're struggling with puff, I just got this. This is a temperature gun. This was so helpful in my temperature because Yamation has their settings that they tell you to press on. And even though I set my press for that, that's not what my press was heating up to. So I was able to use my temperature gun and get the right temperature. So really useful. Stay tuned for more tips on how to use puff. So this is the image from my last video where I used the DTF sublimation hack. So now I'd like to enhance this print that I've done by layering puff over this part. But the issue is this is a 300 DPI image. If I was to take this into Cricut Design Space, it would lose all sizing. So I'm going to show you how to resize this properly and get this into Cricut Design Space so it will lay perfectly on top. So first of all, I will show you that this is a 300 DPI image. I want to bring this down to a 72 DPI image in order to cut it. So with resample checked, which is very important, change this to 72 DPI. So now what it's done, it's rearranged those pixels so there's only 72 dots per inch instead of 300 because we're not printing, we're cutting. So of course it shrinks it. So to just zoom in, and there we have our image. But now I'm at 200% view. So now I'm just going to make a selection around these little trees. Put it onto its own layer. Create a new artboard that I could drag it onto. And all I'm going to do is, this is the layer that we just created. And I'm just going to drag that layer into here. And there it is. So now this is the size for it to be cut. And I can just go in and fix this up a little bit. There. And just remove the background. And you can also do this in Design Space. however you want to get rid of the background. And save this as a PNG. You don't always need for it to be an SVG. Okay, so now I'm in Design Space and I'm going to upload those little trees. And there they are, no background. If you had them still on a background, you can just, here you can select the white part and hit delete. I'm just going to do a cut. And here's my image. So here it is. This is the size that it was printed on my shirt already at 300 dpi. So now this is ready to cut. And of course I want it the same green as the trees, and it's just going to puff right over that. And I'm also going to add some fun text. Okay, so here I am at my press, and I'm just lining up this white Puff HTV on the top and the bottom. At this point, I should have known that the white was going to get lost on the yellow, but I was trusting the process. Right here, I'm feeling that there's a pocket in the front. This is actually a tip. This puff does not like anything underneath it. At the next shirt, I'm going to show you how I solved that problem, but you'll see what it did to that puff, and I couldn't fix it. And here you see how the trees are lining up perfectly with my print. When I changed it from 300 dpi to 72 dpi, it brought it into Cricut Design Space exactly the same. Okay, so I'm working real hard to get all the seams off. And now I'm going to press it without anything underneath it or anything on top of it. So it's straight metal on metal. And I'm just covering up the sublimation ink so it doesn't get on my top plane. Okay, and I'm pressing at 289 for 10 seconds. The recommendation is 284 to 302 Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 seconds. But my press likes 289 for 10 seconds with pretty heavy pressure. And you can already see that white puffing up. I do find that the lighter colors kind of puff better than the darker colors. So there it is, all puffed up, looking a little washed out. So we're going to get a close-up of this, but then I'll show you how I really made it pop. So here is that green puff. Let me see if I can get it sideways so you can see it all puffy. And the white is all puffed up. So you can see it's all puff. And this close up to the camera, it does look grainy, grainy, but it's not. Okay, so I didn't like how washed out the white looked, so I just cut an offset for it in puff. So we're basically doing puff on puff. Just lining it up. And I'm not even gonna worry about this. Let's see how it comes out. So to avoid the neck marks, I have the pad underneath that I took out earlier. So let's hope this works. And we're gonna do the same thing. $2.89 for 10 seconds. That is puffy. So this is, ooh, and it looks like it just melted into each other. That, okay, that's super cool. Let's get a close up. So this outline really made this shirt pop for me. I love how it came out, and I hope you try this.